Well, obviously, it's a tough loss. Pretty well played game by both teams. For the most part, there really wasn't, too many mistakes. Just kind of who got the big hit and who didn't. And, give credit to Killian. I thought he did a good job of battling and finding a way to get through some innings. Kept eating up innings. I think one time maybe Coach Tadlock might have been going out there to take him out. At least that's what it looked like, and he stayed in. He promptly got another out and got him through that inning, and gave his bullpen a chance to rest a little bit more. But just some big hits. Texas Tech took advantage of a couple of things, and tough loss. 2 tough losses here for us. 2 one-run losses that really could have gone either way.
Okay, we'll start with Kendall.
You win baseball. Casey, you had a couple of hits off Killian, but you also had a couple of strikeouts against that breaking ball. I guess your thoughts on how he approached you and the lineup in general.
I thought he did a good job. Like Coach said, he kind of kept us off balance. He had really good stuff. He stayed strong throughout until they took him out. He threw me a lot of curveballs. I think maybe I was pressing a little bit too much. Kind of in a got-to-win situation, and that's on me being an older guy. You should know not to press, and I did. So I had a couple of bad at-bats, a couple good hits. That's just baseball, but I thought he did an outstanding job. He's a good pitcher, and he took advantage of it.
Okay, up here, Bob.
This is for Casey. You obviously had a really good day with a double and a triple, but with the top of the order up, 2 guys on, no outs, were you pretty confident you guys would score there? Just how tough was it the way that 9th inning went down?
I had a lot of confidence. Top to bottom, doesn't matter who came up. I know our guys, they battled all year, and they've done an outstanding job competing in the box, and it just didn't fall our way. And like I said, that's baseball, and it's a tough situation, but it sometimes just comes down to that, and we just didn't get it done.
Okay, still with Bob.
This is for both Heston and Casey. Well, Heston, first, what was the pitch you hit on the home run?
Fastball, middle of the way.
Yeah, and after the way you guys got shut out, how good did that feel to break the ice, so to speak, I guess?
It's always good for someone to get the team rolling. We kind of feed off each other. Once one guy starts hitting, other guys start to follow. So just to be able to get that rolling a little bit for us was good for us as a team.
And then for both you guys, you're obviously going to come back and kind of be the heart of the team next year. I know after a tough loss, but just how good do you feel about the season y'all had getting here? Because a lot of people didn't have you doing that for the season. And just how good do you feel about the guys you got coming back, even though you're obviously losing a lot of good players too?
Casey, you start, please.
I thought we had an outstanding year being counted out from the beginning with everybody we lost. We're bringing some new guys. Trevor Ezell did more than outstanding for us. And, he's a competitor. And, without bringing guys in like that, true leaders for this team, I guess just could say such a young team we have, that it shows these younger guys, what it takes to get here. And, so they've experienced it now. They know what it takes. And we need to build off that. And I think we'll be good if we can build off that.
Heston.
No, we had a spectacular year getting back here for the 2nd year in a row, but it shows a lot about the incoming guys that came in and replaced a lot of the starters and experience we had from last season. And, it took everyone on our whole roster to get us here, and, it was just great to be back. And we'll look back on the season and realize how good we were for the whole season, how good of an experience we had. But for now, it's obviously a little bitter once the season's over.
Okay, Aaron.
Aaron Fitt, doing baseball for both of you guys, or whoever wants to take it. Kind of building on that, the character and the fight of this team, and you had the early lead, they came back, take the lead. Trading blows. How much do you think that says about the heart that this team has played with all year long?
We've been that way all year. There's been games to where we've been behind, and our offense will keep striking back, and our pitchers will keep us in the ball game. And I don't think there's too many games this year that we didn't feel like we had a chance to come back and take the lead for our pitchers and then our bullpen to come out there and shut them down again.
Casey?
I mean, I think it just says a lot of what Coach here has done for this program. You know, he goes out and gets competitors, guys that want to compete, and you know that's awesome. That's big time for this program, and I think that's why we're pretty successful, is because he surrounds his team with guys like Azell and Zay and Scroggins, and man, it's been awesome, and you know that thing, it just says a lot about our program.
Okay, Bob? Up here.
Dave alluded to it in his opening comments, but you know, you come here and 2 one-run losses could have gone either way. I mean, you guys could be 2-0 with a couple of breaks instead of 0-2. Just how tough was that to contemplate, I guess?
I mean, it's, you know, sometimes the ball bounces a little funny, and didn't exactly go our way, but I mean that's just baseball for you. It just tells you, you know, it could go either way, and you know, yeah, it's tough, but you know, like I said, that's baseball.
Heston?
Yeah, we just, you know, one swing of the bat in either game for how close they were could have changed the outcome. And, you know, it didn't happen for us, but, you know, we'll get back after it.
Okay, one last question for the players, if anybody wants to take it, and I'm sure Bob does.
Yeah, I don't know if it's realistic for anybody to go to the World Series 3 years in a row, but do you guys feel good that you'd have a shot next year to be back here?
I mean, honestly, with the program that we run at Fayetteville, I don't see why not. Coach has done an outstanding job recruiting. We have a lot of good young talent coming in. So, you know, they, like I said, you know, they know what it takes to get here. And I think this experience will be good for them, good for the older guys coming back. And, you know, I don't see why not. But, I mean, I think our program's good enough for it.
Yeah, with great coaching and good players that come in every year, our program's never out of the running. You know, you just got to keep playing. We'll get back after it in the fall and improve and be back in the spring.
Guys, thank you. Congratulations on a great season. Let them clear out, and then we'll have questions for Coach Van Horn. Thanks, guys. Okay, first question for Dave. Bob? Saw him first.
You know, Dave, you got the first 2 guys on in the 9th. You got the top of the order. You got Corona warmed up. I mean, it was looking pretty good there. What were you thinking? And I guess the job their guy did, getting you guys out.
Well, Floyd came in and did a great job. I mean, he, you know, he had an opportunity to let that thing slip away, and he didn't. You know, I think they thought we were bunting with Franklin. We weren't. And I just wanted to see if we could draw him in a little bit and maybe he could slap the ball by him. And it worked. And, you know, then Ezel obviously coming up, one of our best hitters, switch hitter. He had an option to bump for a hit if they stayed back. If they were up, I wanted him to swing. You know, looking back at it, I wish he'd hit the first pitch. It was just maybe a ball low, but it was probably the only fastball he got. And you know, the third baseman's way up, Warren's way up, and they started backing up a little bit. But I just didn't feel good about bunting one of my best hitters with first base open. Then they'd have an option to either walk Casey, set up a double play, or, you know, the other thing is, you know, there's a lot of swing and miss there in the 2-hole. And, you know, I just felt like that, you know, the key at bat was going to be Trevor. Trevor needed to hopefully advance and maybe drive him in, and he made some really good pitches to Trevor. And, you know, but it was looking good. But you got to get him over and in, and we didn't.
Okay, Kendall. You good? Okay. Go back to Bob.
Dave, you know, Cops had only given up 2 home runs all season, and then he gave up 2 today. I mean, kind of what did you see from him?
Made a couple of mistakes, you know, got behind in the count. The first couple of hitters, 3 hitters he sees, you know, he's 2-0 before he knew what hit him. I think he went 3-0, came back, ended up getting the first hitter, and just kind of set a pattern that way a little bit. And then he goes out and, you know, gives up another home run in the second inning, and then he's like lights out. And, you know, a little confusing there for us what to do. Only have so many guys really available, and we still got a lot of innings to get. And, You know, he'd have a couple really good hitters and he'd make a mistake. A couple really good hitters and he'd make a mistake. And you got to give their hitters credit. When we made a mistake, they hit it. And that was the difference in the game. I mean, you know, Warren got a hanging breaking ball off Nolan and left the yard first pitch. And all of a sudden they're down 3-2 and we were cruising a little bit and that spun the game. And, you know, the triple that won that, you know, gave him the lead. It's a 3-1 pitch. You know, Cody got behind. Pitch really wasn't a bad pitch. It was a fastball away. He went out and got it and hammered it. And, you know, but the problem was we were behind in the count. You know, the run that ended up scoring to give him the lead was a walk. The run that scored the other night, guy got hit in the back, got hit by a pitch, you know, and then they got some big hits after it or a sac fly, whatever. And, you know, that ended up being the difference. But we left too many runners on base here. We had 8 runners today, 8 runners the other day. We didn't drive in, and that ended up being the bottom line. We didn't score enough runs.
Kendall.
Rogers, do you win baseball? David, Caleb Killian didn't allow you guys to kind of get in a groove offensively, had 9 strikeouts. What did you kind of see from him, and especially kind of that breaking ball? It seemed like he was able to keep Casey and a few guys off balance with that breaking ball.
I felt like he did a really good job with his fastball, not leaving it in the middle of the plate when he threw it, and then he pitched off of it with a lot of breaking balls. The fastball was getting up there 92, 93 miles an hour, maybe a little more every now and then with some run, and you know, they had to respect that fastball, and that it kept him off that breaking ball, which was really good. Just a good mix and really not leaving too much out there for us to hit.
Bob.
Yeah, Dave, I know it's a tough way for it to end, but kind of putting the season in perspective, considering all you lost, just how do you feel about the season, you know, overall and the future? Because you got, you know, some of your best players coming back. I know you're losing a lot of good ones, too.
Yeah. No, I mean, you look back at fall ball and you start from there and you kind of think, trying to figure out how you're going to piece it together and, you know, how are we going to be good enough to compete in the Western Division of the SEC? And, you know, we knew if some guys had a good year that we'd be okay. I don't know that we knew that we were going to get here. But once season got going, we started gelling a little bit and guys started getting better and pitching started working a little bit. Guys got over some soreness and some little injuries, you know, because we had some of that in you know, late March where we had guys missing weekends, especially relievers. But we kept finding ways to win games. We felt like that if we got to a best, you know, 2 out of 3 weekend type super regional series, that we'd have a chance to get back here. And, you know, just really proud of the team. Told them that after the game, told them to walk out there head high. Told them we were real close to winning 2 games. We ended up losing 2. 2 one-run games, kind of hard to swallow. But overall, it was a really good year. You know, getting a part of the Western Division Championship with a really good Mississippi State team. But throughout the year, we swept Mississippi State at our place. You know, and you know, getting back here, just proud of them and appreciated the effort that they gave us all year. Those guys showed up every day and worked hard, smiled a lot, and it made it fun to work with them. And you know, I just appreciate the effort. And you know, I'm gonna miss Fletcher. You know, that smiling, goofy center fielder. That guy could play with anybody. And you know, you think about Trevor Ezell coming in. And just really solidified our lineup. I'm going to miss that guy, his leadership, and it wasn't all verbal. It was just by work ethic and toughness. And Kinley had an incredible year, you know, and he kind of came out of nowhere, and we had to have that. And, you know, just I could probably go on and on. A lot of the pitchers as well. I mean, Campbell, you only get 1 or 2 of those guys every now and then. I've had one the last 2 years. And, you know, we're going to have to find somebody, or somebody's got to try to become that guy if we're going to have an opportunity to make it this far next year. So it was a good year. I know there's a lot of people back home disappointed, but probably like me, if they just take a step back and take a breath and kind of realize what we replaced and how we did after we replaced all those players, it was a pretty good year.